Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I am, as always, your host, AR, the Ohio Patriot. And for today's episode, we'll be talking about another possible false flag, this time at a Walmart, or at least, if nothing else, if it's not a government-created false flag like Club Q was, it's very possible a mainstream media created copycat killer. Just like how they used to create copycat killers back in the day when it came to serial killers in the 60s and 70s when they kept reporting on that shit and giving these fuckers recognition and giving them name recognition and being like, oh, but look what this person did, look what this person did. And all of a sudden there's a string of these things going on, dude. It's a bunch of bullshit all the way around. And yeah, it's a bunch of crap, dude. But before we get into that, though, and this is something that I've been saying since day number one about the Club Q shooter, which is that this kid was definitely closeted. And imagine my shock, that is exactly what has now come out now. We got court documents. Colorado gay nightclub shooter identifies as non-binary and uses they, them pronouns. Shocker. This is the thing, dude. I said it before, I'll say it again, dude. Like, as I was saying on Honda's chat on Sunday night, I almost guarantee that this is going to be another Highlands Ranch kind of deal there, dude. For those who don't know about Highlands Ranch was the attack that happened, what was it, 4 or 5 years ago now? Something like that, 2018, I don't think it wasn't 2020. It's like 2018 or 2019, and it was basically you had a gay kid and a supposed transgender kid going into a high school called Highlands Ranch, trying to shoot the place up. They end up being, I don't think they were both stopped, but I know at least one of them was stopped by a big dude who was in the school, who was like either a junior or a senior. Unfortunately, he lost his life in the attack because, they were able to shoot him or whatever the case before he was able to basically tackle him to the ground and shit like that. But, yeah, as it turned out, you had that piece of shit Jason Crow, who's a current congressman, because fucking dumbass leftists in Colorado keep voting this ass clown back into office every couple of years, which is exactly why we need term limits on this country, as well as, or I should say, why we need term limits in every position of power in this country, as well as having auto DQs on office right now. Because you had dickless Jason Crow then use the Highlands Ranch attack to try to push for gun control crap, and you had every kid in that school being like, fuck you, mental illness, and walked out of some assembly that he was part of, is what it was. So, but, yeah, and then we got another one here, which is one of the corner stories, which is multiple victims reported in mass shooting at Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. I'd like to point out that it was after the 2019 El Paso attack, which happened less than a day before the Dayton massacre here in Ohio. About 13 hours or so, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, because of, autistic mind and memory and stuff like that. And plus, it's one of those impactful things where it kind of scarred my memory is what it was, because, it was one of the biggest ones here, and it's the reason why I became a second advocate and activist in the state, because of that shit that happened in Dayton there. By that fuckstick, Antifa and BLM affiliated ass wipe. But, yeah, Walmart after that, they obviously banned all those handgun calibers, as well as some of them that could be considered rifle calibers as well, because technically 38 through 57, 44, etc. could all go into rifles as well as handguns. And same thing with 9mm, actually, that can go into a carbine, PCC or whatever the case be, and so forth and so on. So yeah, it's a bunch of crap entirely, dude. But, and actually technically thinking about it now, I think 40 can too, which they banned that as well, banned the sale of that stuff. And then obviously, got rid of like 5.56 and a bunch of other calibers as well on that one for handgun rifle calibers. It's like that. It was a 7.62-39 and a few other ones. Interestingly enough, when you go into Walmart's now, which I have in the last few months here, they still carry stuff, at least here in the state of Ohio anyway. They carry all the hunting calibers like 350 Legend, 450 Bushmaster. I know that they sell some 30-30 now. They still sell 22. Still sell 12 gauge and 20 gauge when it's in stock. I believe they still sell 7.62x54R is the one that I saw at the Canton one recently. In the last few months is what it was when I was over there. And I almost want to say they sell 308 and stuff still, which is crazy. Because again, like, yeah, it's a hunting caliber, but guess what? So is fucking 5.56 or 7.62 for that matter, dude. You can hunt with both those things for like various animals and shit. Now, granted, in the state of Ohio, you can only use straight wall for white-tailed deer and stuff like that. But yeah, you can go hog hunting with a 7.62. You can go, or with a AK or whatever the case be, or an AR for that matter. It's not ideal, but if you want to go that route, you can. But anyway, yeah, it's just a bunch of crap. So we're gonna talk about that. We're also gonna talk about the gay nightclub thing here. And we'll actually go ahead and stop screen sharing for a sec so I can grab up the actual two stories we're gonna discuss in this whole thing. We're gonna talk about some other stuff too. Obviously, you got piece of shit NBC reporter claims trans advocates need to be less afraid of Breitbart and try to blame conservatives for gay nightclub shooting, even though the fucking shooter himself was one of them. You also got the piece of shit CEO of GLAAD claiming Ron DeSantis and Lauren Boebert are to blame for Colorado LGBTQ club attack. No, the fucking piece of shit 22-year-old that you fuckers let off the hook there in Colorado is to blame for the attack, you asswipe. Like, I am so sick and tired of GLAAD at this point, dude. I really fucking am. Like, I've honestly had it with those fucking people, man. Like, these are the same fucking child molesters that keep trying to push all this other crap, dude. Which, speaking of a potential, pedophiles, that's another story we're going to talk about today, which is a dickless sack of shit and almost ex-governor of Arkansas at this point, because he's only got about a month left in office, Asa Hutchinson, who's the current governor of Arkansas, is basically trying to push crap and say that, where's the story out here now? Let me see here now. Shit, now I lost it. It wasn't my fucking files earlier. Yeah, it's basically him talking about the GOP needs to stop, like, rhetoric about, like, trans stuff or whatever, and it's like, dude, fuck yourself. Like, you're part of the goddamn problem, dude, seriously. Your fucking rhino ass is 100% part of the problem there, dog. When you have this douchebag, yeah, here it is. Grab this real quick. And we'll actually do this screen share first, I think. So yeah, when you got this motherfucker Asa, who, by the way, did a whole bunch of fucking shady shit, dude. Okay. Including, like, locked down his own state for, I don't know, better part of like 6 months or something, dude. It's a bunch of crap entirely, dude. But yeah, Asa Hutchinson, GOP needs toned down transphobic grooming rhetoric. Sounds like something an actual fucking child molester would say. And honestly, looking at Asa Hutchinson, dude, that dude looks like the real life embodiment of that one dude's doll that's the comedian guy. Like, he just looks like a creepy fucking human doll, basically, dude. That's like clearly a fucking creeper is what it would be. But as I said here, outgoing Governor Asa Hutchinson, who already tried to claim he was going to try to run for 2024, even though he's politically relevant hack at this point, said Friday on CNN's New Day that Republicans needed to, quote, tone down their transphobic rhetoric talking about pedophilia and grooming, except that's exactly what these fucking people are doing, you douchebag. Like, how about you actually call out the fucking people who are grooming fucking children and are preying upon kids, you sick fuck. But oh no, you're not going to do that because mostly you're in the fucking club there, buddy. That's why you've been in politics forever, dude. As far as I'm aware, Hutchinson's been in fucking office for like decades at this point, dude. He was obviously governor of Arkansas for at least 8 years. I think he was part of the General Assembly for some time as well. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he was actually a sitting U.S. Senator or something at one point as well, or something like that, a congressman maybe or something back in the day, like the 90s or some shit. But anyway, it said, guest host Breonna Keller said, quote, I do want to ask you, in light of this shooting in the LGBTQ plus nightclub, which, by the way, it was not fucking all those random ass quote back letters, dude. It was a gay nightclub, period. Club Q was a gay nightclub. End of story. In Colorado Springs, do you think the members of your party need to tone down some of their transphobic language? Again, it's not. So here's the problem right now. Even using that phrase, like the whole like that's basically saying you fear transgender people, dude. People do not fear transgender people. What we fear is having a fucking child molester preying upon kids, dude, and eventually molesting those kids because they're allowed to continue on with this shit. Big fucking difference there. And it's not even that we fear that shit. We are speaking up against it because we're sick and tired of fucking seeing it, dude. We're sick. Personally, I am sick. Like, seriously, bro. I have an 8-year-old fucking niece and a 15-year-old nephew. I am sick and tired of seeing this fucking garbage shoved down their goddamn throats every fucking day of their lives, man. Let them be fucking kids, for God's sakes, dude. Let them be fucking kids. Let them live their lives how they want to live their fucking lives. Stop pushing a bunch of communist bullshit on them, dude. That's what we're fucking sick of, dude. That's what I'm personally fucking sick of. Anyway. Yeah, this dumb bitch Brown also said, we've heard officials talking about pedophilia, grooming, demonizing trans people. Again, we're not demonizing those people, dude. What we're talking about is stop trying to fuck with kids' minds and confuse them into an ideology is what it is. And make them mentally ill, which is what it really comes down to being, bro. Anyway, it says, douchebag Hutchinson said, well, in our society, we need to tone down harsh rhetoric that causes others to hate. That's not what our society should be about, and that is horrific. What happened in that nightclub, our hearts go out there, as it should, and hopefully it will cause us all to be more reflective about what we say, how we say it, and how we might stigmatize certain elements of our population, which is not good. How about you get mental illness to fucking help it needs, bro? Seriously, there was a time period in history where if you were gay/trans, you would be in a fucking nut house somewhere, dude. It wasn't even that long ago. It was like 50, 60 years ago, something like that. Maybe 70 at most. 50s to 70s, somewhere in there. Before Reagan and company banned state hospitals in this country in the 80s. You would have people have electroshock therapy to their fucking skulls, dude. I'm not obviously saying that we should be doing that again, but like, that's what happened. That's physically the fucking history of this country, bro. But no, we need to fucking be fighting back against this crap, dude. And the fact that you have all these people coming out of the fucking woodwork and you have this shit being pushed more and more, and you have more and more teachers, male and female both, being arrested for fucking students, dude. Like, yeah, there's fucking a problem here, buddy. And when you're talking about, oh, you need to tone down the rhetoric. What fucking rhetoric, dude? Calling out fucking child molesters as fucking child molesters, you fucking child molester? Piece of shit, Asa Hutchinson. Is that what you're talking about there, Asa, you fucking little bitch? You fucking scumbag, piece of shit, mass murdering asshole who literally helped kill a bunch of people in the state of Arkansas during the fucking lockdowns by pushing fucking jabs and mask mandates and fucking respirators on fucking people and everything else like that, you asswipe. By completely destroying the fucking economy of Arkansas for decades to come because you're a fucking nutcase, because you're a tyrant fucking piece of shit cunt who should have already been brought to justice and be given Nuremberg trials for crimes against humanity at this point, you fucking douche. Is that what you're talking about there, Asa? I guess what you're talking about there, Asa. I'm not even going to bother with the rest of this dude because I'm just fucking over this fucking guy. He is such a fucking cunt, dude. And then you got this stupid cunt, Weingarten, claiming Republicans' transgender rhetoric is demonic, says the people who are actual fucking demons in this country, by the way. I'd like to point that one out, dude. We're also going to talk about this story, which is another day, another court decision against New York gun control, baby. Hell yeah. And then we got union president says rail strike odds about 50-50 they're going to do it or not. So, yeah. And that's that asshole right there who, like, tell me this fucking Collins guy doesn't look like a child molester too, by the way. Or at least some guy that's going to be, like, grabbing kids off the street to go fucking, take to current congressmen and senators who actually are, is what it would be. So it'd be, like, pedo adjacent, basically. Yeah, that guy looks like a fucking... This dude, actually, I'm not going to lie, dude. This fucking Collins person here, dude, this guy in the picture there, looks like half the fucking people who have been busted here in the state of Ohio for trying to meet up with kids in various things and shit, dude. Like, it's usually clean cut like clean shaven guys like that dude, man. They're the ones busted in these different stings and shit. Then of course you got I forget how to pronounce the name of that company. Balangatia apologizes for creepy photo shoot with sexualized teddy bears and child porn court documents. I actually heard about this one. I decided to actually see if Tucker Carlson was still talking about this last night or not. Apparently he was. And yeah, what you had there is this girl basically holding a teddy bear that's all in bondage and shit like that. Mind you, the girl's like fucking 6 or 7 at most, maybe there. And then they had some weird ass creepy pictures of court documents, which is basically talking about child porn and like some court ruling or something like that a while ago. And it's like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. And you got Biden extends student loan payment pause until June 2023, or they could just end the fucking shit entirely and be done with it, dude. Instead of pushing it back all the time. Trans women are women, claims NHL goes ultra woke, supports all trans and non-binary hockey tournament. Jesus fucking Christ. So dudes, they're saying dudes in hockey, dudes in women's hockey. And you got Michigan State hockey player accuses Ohio State player of using racial slur. I'm going to call bullshit on that one, especially when this Saturday is the Ohio State-Michigan game here, which is ironically enough the last game that last football game specifically when it comes to college football that we cannot legally bet on in the state of Ohio yet because our sports betting thing that my current state senator and a bunch of other people were behind does not go into effect until January 1st of next year. But needless to say, I might be making some money after that, though, if that be the case, dude, with like FanDuel and shit like that. Like $5 here, $10 there, maybe throwing down in these games to see if I can make like, long shot bets and stuff like that into a couple $100 or something like that, something else. And then just keep parlaying that shit in other bets is what it'll be then. So, never know, man. Never know. But anyway. So going back to the other articles we're going to talk about, though, here. We'll go back to those other ones for a minute here and there, in a couple minutes here and whatnot. But anyways, so going back to the original one, I was going to talk about the actual nightclub shooter and him basically being part of the whole community there, which is what I assumed to begin with. Honestly, it did not surprise me that this came out, man. It's just, and again, you want to talk about Pulse 2.0, like down to the fucking thing, dude. Entirely, you got the guy that did Pulse. Gay Islam follower, dude. What's this dude here? A fucking gay guy or basically non-binary guy who dude who claimed to be non-binary and was then essentially self-hating is what it was, dude. Same thing. And he also had like previous, should have gotten federal charges, basically is what it is, dude. So yeah, report. Colorado gay nightclub shooter identifies as non-binary, uses they them pronouns. We're not even going to talk about what the guy's name is. The suspect who allegedly shot and killed 5 people and wounded 18 others over the weekend at a Colorado nightclub called Club Q identifies as non-binary, uses they them pronouns according to court filing Tuesday night. This douchebag 22 is facing multiple murder and hate crime charges, which, again, how are you going to face hate crime charges if you're actually non-binary? That doesn't even make any sense. Like, that should be immediately taken off the table at that point then. Unless, of course, it's self-hating, I don't know. But anyway, it's stemming from the weekend shooting. Said, however, his public defender revealed that he identifies as non-binary, uses they them pronouns, in a New York Times reported article. In addition to the pronouns, this douchebag is referred to as MX Mix in court filings. Claimed asswipe is non-binary. A footnote in the filing states, said they use they them pronouns, and for the purposes of the formal filings will be referred to as MX and then their last name. Fucking ridiculous, dude. So the news about this motherfucker's gender identity came out after Democrats and members of the corporate press politicized the shooting and blamed Republicans for the tragedy. So, for example, NBC's Ben Collins, who is the douchebag there, pictured to your right there, this asswipe right here who looks like I said, pretty much every child molester, every fucking caught in Ohio stings here, claim that Republican politicians and the internet's far-right machine targeted LGBTQ plus individuals in the months leading up to the nightclub shooting. Quote, but I think we have to have a come-to-Jesus moment here as reporters, Collins told MSNBC. We are more afraid of being on Breitbart for saying that trans people deserve to be alive, or are we more afraid of dead people because I'm more afraid of the dead people? Stupid fucking commie cunt Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez blasted Republican Representative Lauren Boebert as a bigot who motivated the shooter shortly before Boebert issued a statement condemning the violence in her home state. This is why Cortez needs to be tossed out of Congress, by the way, shit like that right there, dude. 100%, dude. The fact that AOC is still in Congress at this point is ridiculous. She should have been, like, we wouldn't talk about a chick whose entire congressional seat should have been tossed out of fucking existence in the 2020 election cycle, dude. Yeah, Cortez should have been the first seat to go there, is what it is, dude. When they lost a congressional seat in New York State, it should have been her ass that went bye-bye, dude, instead of that one chick that went up against Nadler. So, anyway. Yeah, and that was basically Cortez's BS about claiming Boebert was to blame and stuff like that. Said the mass murderer is set to make a virtual court appearance from jail on Wednesday, the Denver Post reported. So, yeah. Fuck him, fuck Cortez, fuck all the Democrats. They're all a bunch of fucking Nazis at this point, dude, for real. So, anyway. And then we got the latest one here, which is, as the title suggests here, another false flag at Walmart. Which is multiple victims reported in mass shooting at Walmart in Chesapeake, Virginia. Again, as I said earlier, when you had Wally World themselves ban guns on premises and basically turn their places into giant gun-free zones, pretty much everybody needs to be tried with this one. The Walton-Ayers need to be sued out of existence right now on this one, dude. So does Bloomberg, for that matter, because he was part of that shit. It says multiple victims have been reported following a mass shooting at Walmart, Chesapeake, Virginia, a little over a week after 3 UVA football players were gunned down in Charlottesville, Virginia. It said the shooting reportedly occurred at Walmart just off Battlefield Boulevard, according to police, where as many as 10 people have been killed. It is unclear just how many people were killed or injured in the shooting, but police say there are multiple of both. Said police spokesman told reporter Michelle Wolf that, quote, no more than 10 people have died. The report suspect allegedly responsible for the horrific crime has also died at the scene. Okay, so they did kill that guy. That's good. That's what just happened anyway, dude, in most of the cases in this one. Like, the shooter should always die is what it is, dude. And again, even if these places want to be gun-free zones, dude, carry anyway is what it is. Because, again, they can't stop you from carrying, especially if you're in a constitutional carry state, you know? Carry concealed is what it is, dude. Or if you're not in a constitutional carry state and you have the ability to actually have a concealed carry permit and stuff like that, dude, carry like that is what it is. Get the shit and be able to carry legally. Anyway, continuing on here and said, quote, police are still going through the building and people are asked to steer clear, added WAVY, which is the local news company there. Said call reporting the shooting came about 10:12 p.m. Walmart Supercenter was open to the public at the time. There is still a massive police response outside the store with more than 40 emergency vehicles outside. Police have urged the public to stay away from that Walmart as they comb through the scene. State of Virginia has experienced an unfortunate month of shooting deaths, starting with the murder of 3 football players at University of Virginia. Yeah, again, dude, like, all these feel like they're just, like, fucking false flags by the government, honestly, dude. And honestly, this would be the third of 3, I think, honestly, if you want to go back to the UVA one, because UVA would have been the first one, and then it would have been that Club Q attack would be number 2, and this would be number 3, technically speaking. And, you know, was this inspired by the mainstream media? Maybe. I mean, hell, when they're the ones pumping the shit 24/7 and giving these assholes name recognition and stuff like that, dude, like I said earlier, it's nothing more than the modern day shit with the, how they used to create copycat killers in the 60s and 70s with serial killers and stuff like that, dude, when you have, like, the, you know, hillside strangler or something like that, and they're like, oh, there's this dude strangling people on the fucking hillside. Now there's all of a sudden there's like 4 or 5 of them is what it is in the next couple of weeks then. And yeah, it's time to hold the media's feet to the fire on this kind of shit, dude, and make them be held to account at this point, monetarily and physically, with fucking criminal charges is what it is, dude. If they're gonna keep giving these assholes name recognition, it's time for them to be fucking called out on it, man. It's a bunch of crap entirely. So it's like the same thing with those fuckers at GLAAD, dude. Like, they're gonna sit there and be like, oh, it's DeSantis' fault or it's Boebert's fault. It's like, no, it's your fucking fault because you're the ones pushing these fucking bullshit ass false narratives, GLAAD. And then you're pushing all this fucking you're the same fucking cunts who 3-4 years ago went into fucking Hollywood and were like, we need to have gay representation in every fucking single show that's ever created in the next fucking 20 years, even though there's not that many gay people out there or fucking trans people or non-binary, what the fuck it is, dude. It doesn't matter. It's like, no, stop pushing your fucking gay agenda down everybody's fucking throats, and it's not going to be an issue anymore, people. But when you keep doing it every fucking day and every fucking month and every fucking year, and then you're like, oh, I don't understand why there's so much hate against us. Because you're manufacturing it yourselves. Nobody had a fucking problem with you people. You wanted fucking equality, you want a fucking gay marriage? Cool, bro, have it. Don't fucking send this slippery slope now down the fucking rabbit hole where you're now trying to groom children and think we're not going to fucking punch you in the fucking face over it. Because that's what it's coming to, dude. It's coming to fucking physical blows pretty soon. Like I said, I'm sick and tired of it, dude. It's time to start suing these motherfuckers, dude. It's time to start bankrupting their asses as corporations and stuff like that. And taking them down once and for all, dude. They want to keep pushing these agendas. Good luck doing it without any money. And that's what needs to happen right now, honestly, dude. For real. It needs to be lawsuit city in this fucking country anymore. And that's all I'm going to say about the end of the day. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I'll see you all on the next one.